Hi, I'm Benedetta Alleruzzo, a student from University of Rome Tor Vergata, and I'm here for the fall semester 2025 in Venice International University. I study global governance back to my home university, and here I am part of the Globalization program. I decided to join the Globalization program here in Venice International Universities because it is so different from any other program worldwide you can find. It is not the regular exchange semester you will do abroad or you will do overseas, but it's so different because it's not an average university, it is a consortium, which means that universities worldwide meet here, also the professors meet here, and everyone lives here the magic of Venice for a semester, and it makes it more special. Also the environment of Venice, because we are in the lagoon, we are in one of the most unique places in the world, and so it makes me very grateful to be here. When I first arrived in Venice International University, I really realized that it exceeded my expectations, because I already had high expectations, but when I saw it for the first time, I was so impressed, I was flattered, I was shocked, because the beauty is everywhere. The way they firstly welcomed us, and the first impression they gave us, the staff and the professor, everyone was so welcoming and so understanding and supportive, and treating us as people, as students, not just as numbers, and so it really stayed with me. The courses are very well organized in the Globalization program. The platform you use, Moodle, is very well organized. We are given assignments every week, which means that we are always constantly required to study, and we're always required to be present, to be there, to show up not only for lectures but also for co-curricular activities, which is even more interesting because we can actually see with our own eyes what is happening, what we study on platforms, what we study on books. We actually can see that, and it surrounds us all. For example, when we study water heritage, then we also go to see the actual lagoon, we go on boat trips, we go on we go to museums, we actually see the world with our eyes, we actually feel with our hands what we studied. And so this is how learning should be. It's not just something theoretical, but actually something you can actually live with. My two favorite classes were Digital Tools and Cultural Heritage with the professor Fatima, and we studied how to apply digitalization to the preservation and conservation of cultural heritage, and to study it in such a city where cultural heritage is all around us really stayed with me, because it is something that we all live and experience every day. We are in such of an heritage, and even the lagoon we live in is an intangible cultural heritage, and it is so unique worldwide. The second other course that I really loved was Life and Death Pre-Modern Health in Eurasia with the professor Miriam. I really liked, first of all, the topic, because I wasn't used to study history of medicine, and also because the topic was something I had never covered in the past. I found also her approach very innovative, as she was always assigning us for every week readings and projects and presentations, and I found it very stimulating and also helped me to focus during the lectures. And also she brought us to do many co-curricular activities, and I found it a very interesting and dynamic approach. Under an academic point of view, what I really learned here in the VIU program is to organize myself with the study, with assignments, because we are always required to show up and to be present and to develop projects quickly. And so it really helped me to actually organize myself and put together all the work I have to do. And this is just under the academic point of view, but there are so many other things that I learned here in this environment. First of all, I learned to be always present for people and to help them out, and to be always active in the World Globalization program. I was working in the Red Team, so I was always organizing events, and at the same time I was volunteering in the library. So I for the first time I was really active in a program. I was not just a student, but I was trying to improve it. I was trying to do my best for it and to be part somehow in the creation of such a beautiful program. This program is unique because it does not only require you to go on lectures, but it gives you the possibility to actually work in it and actually give the best for it, and to also externally to actually develop connections with professors, with students. You never feel the distance between students and professor, for example. I have been asked by a professor to organize an event. I was always feeling appreciated, and so I was also showing appreciation to the staff and to the professors. So the environment is very supportive, this is what I mean. And it never feels like I have to study, but it feels like I get to study, and I love that because the approach is very dynamic, and I really like it and appreciate, because the way we are taught things comes from people that are very passionate about what they teach us. And also the whole organization of the Globalization program, how they constantly organize co-curricular activities, is something I have never seen in any other university, and so it really made us develop our own ideas and experience with hands what is actually the context we live in. So both cultural heritage, but also the environment, and also relations and everything. We are in such a beautiful environment, so I'm very grateful to be here. Because everyone is doing here only a semester or two, and so it is a dynamic and temporary experience, everyone, both professors and students, want to make the most of it. And so they organize events, co-curricular activities. They really want to spend time together and live together the city, and go on walking tours and go on bike tours and organize dinners together. So I feel it very not overwhelming, but on the other side I feel it very as something that really enriches me, not only on an academic point of view, but also under a humanitarian point of view. I don't just recommend to you, I push you to actually take part of it for a semester or two, depending on your universities. As you know, if you are from most part of the university, you can only attend for a semester, but other universities you can attend for two. And so I really recommend you to have this experience, because it will never show up again. You can only get part in the Globalization program if you are in part of one of the partner universities, which means that one day you will never given this opportunity again, and so you need to be fast and catch it. And the reason why, of course, as I said before, is not just one. There are several reasons, starting from the environment where you are, starting from the whole organization, the whole effort the staff always put every day in making us live the best experience. It will be something you always remember, and so come to Venice. What is very peculiar about my experience is that I was the only one from my university, and the only one coming from an Italian university. Not only from, for example, of course there were people from Ca' Foscari attending some courses here, but this year I was the only one from an Italian university actually attending and living here in Venice for a few months. And so I was always in an international environment. I have never spoke Italian to anyone. I was always speaking English with everyone, with my flatmates. I'm living with an American, to a Korean girl, and also a British girl, and a Welsh girl. And so for me it's always speaking English, being inspired by international connections, and I think I'm very grateful that no one from my course came with me, so that I could really start all over my life and start from zero and start new friendships. The place that maybe made the history in our semester, but I think that for every student coming here for the semester, is the Orange Bar. For who doesn't know it, every Thursday is the only event occurring in Venice because it is a very silent city. And so every Thursday, all the students go there to do karaoke. And it's such a funny experience because it kinda transformed into a tradition now, and so even in the last semesters everyone was always going to Orange, and now we will continue this tradition, passing the words to the next people attending VIU. Since Venice, I wasn't expecting Venice to be actually that quiet, and at the beginning, especially in September, we were looking for bars and pubs and places where to party, so we actually started doing house parties. But then at a point, like in the first weeks, we discovered Orange, and so we started going there every Thursday since the beginning. So you can count how many Thursdays we spend there singing together, and I will always remember it. It's not the fanciest, but still it's like a memory we all share, and so we will always remember it, all of us. My favorite co-curricular activity so far has been the one with water heritage course, as we were brought to a very nice full-day boat trip. We not only went to Palestrina and Marghera Port, which was very inspiring, but we also stayed on a boat doing a pathway that we will not have done other way. So it was a very fun experience, and we spent together so many hours. At some point we even went to the beach together with the professor, so I will always remember it. First of all, I recommend you to live in the city. As I was also living in the city, and I was giving a very nice apartment in San Polo, very central area. And some people living in the island actually had some problems too, for example, going to the supermarket or going out by night and then come back. It is a very nice place also to stay, but it depends on you. If you're like maybe a party animal and you want to go out by night, it becomes a little bit difficult to actually go back to San Servolo, but otherwise I encourage you to stay here if you're more a calm type of person. But for me, because we were always hanging out and going on parties, to have such a central apartment was very helpful, because I could walk by myself to the apartment any time of the night, and I always felt safe, and I felt it was always a few minutes walking, because it was very central. So I recommend you this. And another thing I recommend you is to do as much as possible in VIU and not be scared about the amount of exams. If I could go back, instead of 4 exams, I will be doing 5 exams, because it is possible to do 5. And also the way you are taught things is a way that doesn't actually, is not tough, but it's inspiring and it's dynamic. So you can make it. I recommend you to apply for 5 courses, and if I could go back, I will do 5 courses. Where I live at home is Rome, but it's not Rome city center, it's Castelli Romani. So it's actually in the countryside, and I'm always used to use my car and to go to school by car or to go to the grocery store by car. So it's so different from living in Venice. I miss driving my car, but at the same time, it has never happened to me before that I can just go to the grocery store by walking down the apartment, and it's literally downstairs. So I find it very helpful, and I found it very very fun, because I feel like it really made my life much simpler. It's something I'm not used at all. And who says that Venice is difficult to live? I will say it's actually easy to live in Venice. More than easy, it's romantic, it's unique, and you will never feel this sensation going anywhere else. It's not. I know that if I went to any other place, it wouldn't feel the same. Venice is one of these cities like Paris, like London, like, you know, these cities that have like a romantic aura, and so you really feel it everywhere you go. You feel this art that surrounds you everywhere. It's like Florence. It's like Paris. You feel it everywhere. It's not just a simple city where you go to university, and I'm very grateful that I'm living it here. It's very different from what I'm used to, but it's also very unique, and so I recommend you. I will describe VIU with these three words: supportive, present, and stimulating. I really recommend you to actually do some activities in the university. I really recommend you, for example, to apply for the Red Scholarship and to work in the Red team, because it's something you really can use as a practice for the life, because every weekend, every week you are organizing events, you are working with the professor, it gives you responsibilities, and at the same time it gives you so much fun work to do. I really recommend you. And at the same time also maybe volunteering in the library if you want to. It's something I really love, and I wouldn't expect that, but actually I really like it because it makes me feel I'm actually part of something, and this is the first time ever I really feel so much part of a program, so much part of a university, not just as a student. And so I recommend you to actually be active and to also show up with professors, and to try to be supportive, and to always offer your help for them or to other students. For example, maybe if you're Italian, you can suggest students studying at the Italian course to help them practicing Italian. Is something I do with my flatmates, and you will always feel appreciated in this way.